Inside this box is one of the most anticipated pairs of Jordans of the entire year, which you guys already know what it is from the thumbnail and the title and that sort of good stuff, but I don't know what these look like in person. This is my first time seeing them. I purchased them for resale a couple days ago, and I think they officially drop on Thursday. So I wanted to give you guys an early first look and a review, help you guys decide if it's a shoe you actually want to enter for on the sneakers app when it drops. First thing you see is an orange box. It looks like I actually opened it upside down, but that's fine. All right, so the whole box is orange, cool. So the first thing I'm noticing is not actually the color or the design of the box, it's actually the texture, and it kind of feels like grip tape a little bit, kind of like sandpapery. On the top, you've got 23, and then this redesigned Jumpman logo in white, and then you've got orange, of course, in the box. The sides of the box have these really interesting sort of, I guess, X's, white and black stripes, which are pretty cool. Actually, the texture could be because Nina Chanel Abney is an artist, and it could be a spray paint texture. And there's definitely some spray paint detailing all around the box, so that would be my guess now that I'm thinking about it. So this is the Women's Air Jordan 3 OG SP, and the official colorway is Biocoastal Black Malachite. Now this is a size 10 women's, size 8.5 men's. I'm usually a size 9. My true size is a size 9, but I went with a size 8.5 because it was like $50 cheaper. I still spent way over what it's probably worth just because I wanted to get these instantly to give you guys a review. So probably put like $450, $500 into these. I don't remember exactly what it was, but either way, you guys are getting an early review. I hope you enjoy it. Hit that subscribe button. Kind of make up for the loss of $500. I'm really excited to see these. Let's check them out. Oh, the paper's cool. So Nina Chanel Abney has actually already done a collaboration with Jordan Brand. The Air Jordan 2 Low and the Air Jordan 2 High. One in the Chicago colorway and one in a white and green colorway. It seems like she really likes green as a color on sneaker collaborations, which I'm all about. The paper comes in green. You've got orange accents. You've got this really cool little smiley face guy. J's, hearts, M's, X's, MVP, all sorts of cool like Michael Jordan detailing on the paper. I just realized I'm opening the box upside down, but that's fine. These are not too bad. Oh, the materials are slightly different than I thought. I thought the entire upper of the shoe was suede from the pictures, but it turns out it's more of a like a canvas material. You've got suede around the toe, suede on the heel, suede around the ankle area, and then my favorite part, the part that I'm most excited to check out, is of course the heel tab. It's leather and it's actually completely sewn onto the back of the shoe, and you've got Nike Air in this sort of like chenille grass type texture, which is pretty cool. You've got these rope laces. Obviously, we'll get into all of this later on in the review. Oh, the tongue is different than I expected. Honestly, feeling more premium than I expected. I didn't know what to expect, but these are feeling pretty nice. You've got an air tag right here with her modified Jumpman on the back. Looks like a regular Jumpman on one side, and then a modified Jumpman on the back, which is pretty cool. I was reading on the sneakers app, apparently it's like the first artist that they've allowed to modify the Jumpman. In fact, you've got the modified Jumpman on the tongue, which I didn't notice till just now. So it's really cool that she's been given the opportunity to do that. Her art is pretty rad, so definitely into it. We've got orange laces, it looks like, in addition to the cream laces. I may or may not switch that out. I'm not totally sure yet. First impressions, higher quality than I expected. I really thought the upper was going to be suede though. That's the one downside that I'm not a huge canvas fan on Jordan sneakers. I don't think it's a bad thing, but that's the one thing I'm a little let down by. But other than that, really nice pair of shoes. Kind of wish I got my actual size, but we'll try these on, see how they fit. I have some other 8.5 size Jordan 3s, so when I try these on, I'll compare it to those. But why don't we throw these guys on feet, see how they feel? I'll wear them around for a bit and then come back and give you guys a full review. Got some new shoes to show you. Ooh. What do you think? Air Jordan 3s, Nina Chanel Abney, the grassy hit. On the back, the grassy knoll, as I like to call it. I don't know. I don't even know what a knoll is. I just know that that's a phrase. Is it a hill?
I was gonna say, I think
it's a hill. Yeah, okay. What do you think?
Nice. You have a lot of green sneakers lately.
Do I really?
I mean,
I guess I kind of do. I didn't think about that. Yeah, I guess you're right. But yeah, so these are the Nina Chanel Air Jordan 3s. These are women's only release, but they do come in like extended sizes, so men like me can get them. I didn't actually notice, this is actually, it's knitted. I thought this was just like it's chenille down here and then it's knitted up here. And this is a leather tab. It's cool.
Oh yeah, that is nice.
But yeah, so I'm gonna try these on, let you guys know how they fit. I just tried on a pair of 8.5 Air Jordan 3, so I have an idea of how those fit in a size that I also have a size 9. I have too many sneakers. In a pair or colorway I already have a size 9 of, so I have a good frame of reference. I wasn't sure how I felt about them. I unboxed them, I was into them, then I sat on them for a bit, and I was like, I don't know. And now I'm leaning more towards the actually kind of fresh category. Yeah, especially that heel area, that's sick.
They look good on feet.
Do they really? Mm-hmm. Especially with these pants. Dude, I wear these pants in every single on foot now because they just match with all the different, like, we haven't even released these Apothecary pants. They are coming soon. Maybe not soon, but in a bit. Just a sample. But they match with all the shoes that I have because they all have cream in them. All right, so sizing wise, I would say that these do fit true to size. They are a women's size 8.5 or women's size 10, men's 8.5. And they fit just like the other 8.5s that I have in Air Jordan 3s. However, the tongue is a little bit less padded. So maybe I've got a bit more room. Actually, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's enough room to like size down, but I did size down in these and they feel fine. So maybe sizing down is not a terrible idea if you can't get your size. Obviously, true to size in Jordans is usually what I'd recommend. I think that is still the case for these, but if you have to go down half size because, you know, it sells out in your size, not the worst thing in the world, but try to get true to size. I'm gonna be honest. I go back and forth on these so much.
I wasn't like impressed with them when you were holding them, but when you put them on, I was like, oh wait, they look really cool.
They're pretty clean, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I go back and forth. Would you rock them if you had them?
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah. What would you rank them out of 10?
Yeah, like I said, now that they're on foot,
I know.
I like them. So at least a 7.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
I don't know why. I'm really liking them right now.
Really?
Yeah, they're really cool. What makes them decide to do a women's only release versus women's and men's?
If only we knew the answer to that. I wouldn't say the design's like inherently feminine. I would just say that it's...
No, it's not, but I'm saying it's interesting that I actually really like them. I like the neon on the bottom too.
I know. Okay, back to the studio. So I'm not gonna lie, I actually really like this shoe a lot on feet. It's one of those shoes that you like when you see it in pictures, you like when you hold it in hand, but when you throw it on feet, you're like, dang, that's actually really clean. This is absolutely one of those sneakers, and my wife thought so too, obviously. This shoe officially releases this Thursday, June 20th, for a retail price of $225, and if you guys want to grab it for yourself, I've made sure to leave affiliate links through the YouTube shopping tab on your screen and in the description below. Hopefully you can grab it for retail on the sneakers app when it drops on the 20th, but most likely, because I haven't hit anything on the sneakers app in like 6 months to a year, you're probably gonna have to pay resale. And again, those links are through the YouTube shopping tab on your screen. But either way, this is a very clean collaboration, and although I really like Nina Chanel Abney's first collaboration with Jordan Brand, this one is on another level. As far as hype goes, it does seem like this collaboration is relatively hyped up. I do think that this shoe will probably end up selling out and possibly reselling for a little bit over retail. My guess is like $300. Obviously it retails for $225, so $75 over retail before fees. That's my guess. I really have no basis for that. I'm totally guessing. I don't even know how limited this shoe is going to be. I would assume relatively limited, but I'm not sure. So I was thinking about this earlier today. Nina Chanel Abney's first collaboration with Jordan Brand was on the Air Jordan 2. And that collaboration, while very clean, wasn't hyped at all. In fact, it sat, it went to outlets, all that sort of good stuff, and you can actually still probably grab it at outlets for great prices. But I don't think that's the fault of the collaborator or the collaboration, especially after seeing this shoe and what she could do on a dope silhouette. I really think it was the silhouette itself. I think the Air Jordan 2 is just not that popular of a silhouette. Last year was like the year of the Jordan 2, so everything that Jordan Brand was doing was on the Air Jordan 2. That's why we have like 7 different pairs of Air Jordan 2s just sitting at the outlets right now, because there were so many pairs that they released. And so her first collab wasn't really given a fair shake, and I think we've seen that with other collaborators who do first-time collaborations on Jordan sneakers. In my opinion, if I'm going to wear an Air Jordan 2, it's usually going to be an OG or something like the Off-White collaboration. Probably a little bit because I'm a hypebeast, but also because I really love Virgil Abloh, and I think that's the kind of collaboration that I needed to get into the Air Jordan 2 that wasn't an OG colorway, so there's that. For some reason, I also love the infrared Air Jordan 2s from like 2014. I don't know why, but I do. But personally, the Air Jordan 3 is my second favorite Air Jordan sneaker of all time after the Air Jordan 1. And I think that's true for a lot of people. I think the Air Jordan 3 is a lot of people's favorite silhouettes. So it makes sense that this shoe right out of the gate is more popular than her first collaboration because it's on a really clean silhouette. Now, of course, it's not all the silhouette that makes this collaboration popular. It's also what she did on the collaboration. I'd say that's the main reason why the shoe is so popular. And I think a lot of that has to do with the heel tab of the shoe. It's very unique, it's very different, it kind of has a CPFM vibe to it a little bit, and I think a lot of people are really drawn to this. But I think I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. We'll talk about that more later on in the review. The colorway might not be for everybody, but it's way more wearable than I think you would think. So if you're not familiar with Nina Chanel Abney, she is a New York-based contemporary artist and painter. And I mentioned earlier when I was unboxing these shoes, I think the box actually has a spray paint texture to it, which I actually think is really cool the more that I think about it. It's like a whole nother dimension to the box design itself. You see a lot of crazy colors and different designs and different patterns on boxes, but you very rarely get a different texture on the box, and I thought that was really cool that she had done that. And I've actually really been enjoying the collaborations that Jordan Brand and Nike have been doing recently with fine artists versus designers. There is a difference there. It's a completely different take on designing a sneaker. And I'm personally really enjoying these stylistic differences that we're seeing between these fine artists and these painters. In fact, my possible sneaker of the year is designed by a fine artist, Futura. One of my favorite sneaker releases, probably of the last 5 years, 10 years. I'm obsessed with that shoe. But all right, enough of that. Let's dive into the sneakers themselves and talk about the materials that make up the Nina Chanel Abney Air Jordan 3s. So starting off around the toe of the sneaker, you've got this grassy green suede mudguard, and of course, because the material is suede, it definitely feels and looks grassy. Moving up from there, you've got another panel that wraps around the bottom half of the upper, and that's made up of this sort of washed green canvas. And of course, just above that on the toe of the sneaker, you've got another panel made up of more washed green canvas. Now, like I mentioned earlier, I for some reason didn't realize that this material was canvas. I thought it was like a low pile suede or something like that. But the more that I've looked at this shoe, the more that I've worn it, the more that I've, seen it on feet, I actually don't mind the canvas. There's something in my head whenever I see a canvas pair of Air Jordans that I'm like, why am I paying $200 for a pair of canvas sneakers? But to be fair, it kind of makes sense in this collaboration because Nina Chanel Abney is a painter, so it's kind of like painting on canvas. I'm thinking that's the inspiration. Personally, I would have preferred a suede or maybe a leather or something like that, but a suede, in the rain just gets completely ruined. And a leather, we've seen so many leather Air Jordan 3s, so I don't hate it, and I definitely have warmed up to it, but my preference would be a more premium material like a suede or a leather. I actually wouldn't be surprised if we find out eventually that this canvas is more expensive for them than the synthetic suedes or the very plasticky feeling leathers. So who knows? Moving up in the shoe, the canvas continues up onto the eye stay of the sneaker. You've got these cream colored plastic eyelets at the bottom of the tongue, and then continuing up a little bit farther in the shoe, you've got some of that grassy suede with some more cream colored eyelets, and then of course you've got these two final cream colored eyelets at the top of the tongue. Weaving through the eyelets, you've got your cream colored rope lace, which I actually really like. I definitely prefer it over the orange colored rope lace, which is a nice addition, but I think I would stick with the cream. It actually kind of matches with my cream shirt. In fact, this entire sneaker kind of matches with my cream shirt. I don't know if you guys noticed, but this is a brand new Pretty Much Broke Apothecary tee, which releases officially on our website apothecary.com this Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. The back of this t-shirt is actually my favorite part. Isn't that fire? I love that. Again, this Friday 11 a.m. Eastern time at apothecary.com. Underneath the laces, you've got more of that green canvas material on the tongue, and then at the top of the tongue, you've got your Jumpman, which I mentioned earlier is actually a completely redesigned Jumpman. It's more of a pixelated, blocky Jumpman in the style of Nina Chanel Abney. Very cool touch, and as I mentioned earlier, this is the first time that someone's been allowed to mess with the Jumpman logo in a collaboration. I didn't realize this is the first time. I can't think of any examples of it happening before, so it must be the first time, but it's kind of surprising. I didn't realize that they hadn't let people do that before, but I guess it makes sense because when you have a logo and a brand, you don't want it messed with. But I guess at this point, that logo is so well recognized that it doesn't really matter if you tweak it a little bit. Although it would be funny in a couple years when people forget about this collaboration, if they see it at a flea market, they're like, nah, these are fake. Look at the Jumpman. Look at that. It looks nothing like the Jumpman. It's all pixelated. I would chuckle. But all that aside, continuing back in the sneaker, on the top of the tongue, you've got this unfinished edge, and the tongue itself is actually not really padded at all. There is, I guess, a little bit of foam, which you can see at the top of the tongue, but that's about it. Nothing like a standard Air Jordan 3 tongue, but I can tell you from personal experience wearing this shoe that didn't have any issues with it. It wasn't uncomfortable. Oh, that's cool. I didn't notice that till just now. First of all, they come in leather. They come in this sort of cream colored leather. And then sewn into the cream colored leather, you've got this orange patch that on the right shoe says Nina, and then on the left shoe says Air Jordan. The rest of the sock liner of the shoe comes in that same cream colored leather and actually feels really premium. It's a really, really nice touch. Inside the shoe, you've got this orange checkerboard insole that is green on the toe, and then you've also got the Jumpman on the heel, also in green and black. Is it the same Nina Chanel Jumpman? It is. That's pretty rad. Again, I would recommend going true to size in these if you're grabbing a pair for yourself, if you can. If you have to go down half size, I guess it's okay. Same thing if you have to go up half size, I guess it's fine. One thing to keep in mind though is that these are technically a women's only release, so if you're buying them as a guy, you do have to be careful about the size that you're buying, because a lot of times some stores will just list the women's size or just the men's size. You need to make sure that you know which one it is. But at this point, you probably already know all about that, so just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Around the top of the ankle area and also the heel counter area, you've got more of that green suede, which I really like. And then moving around to the heel of the shoe, you get sort of the showstopper, the detail that I think everybody's obsessed with, and that is the heel tab. Now, interestingly enough, this heel tab is actually not separated at the top like other pairs of Air Jordan 3s. It's completely stitched all the way around to the back of the sneaker, and it comes in that same sort of cream-colored leather. Now, of course, the detail that everyone loves is the Nike Air branding on the heel that comes in this sort of I don't know what to call that. It looks kind of like chenille, but it also looks knitted, like the text looks knitted. It's very, very interesting. I actually really like it a lot, and it gives the shoe a very grassy vibe, which I kind of think is cool and ties in really well with this green suede. Again, it definitely has that sort of CPFM vibe, which I don't think people will be mad at all. I think they're actually gonna like that a lot. And it also features this little orange accent on both lateral sides of the shoe that feature the Jumpman detail. That kind of gives it sort of an off-whitey sort of vibe. And interestingly enough, the Jumpman on the tag is the standard Jumpman and not the Nina Chanel Jumpman. So there you go. I don't know if you cared, but just a little detail I thought you guys might want to know about. But yeah, I love the heel tab. It's super unique, it's super interesting, and it's definitely the part of the shoe that I think is the most different, that people are going to be most drawn to. Then moving down on the sneaker, you get to this cream, or as Nike puts it, fossil-colored midsole. Of course, you got the visible air unit towards the heel. The texture, or I guess the finish of the midsole paint is sort of a, I guess a semi-gloss. Pretty similar to what you have in most Air Jordan 3s. And then finally, moving to the bottom of the sneaker, you get this little unexpected pop of color. Of course, you've got cream on a majority of the outsole, but then you've also got this neon green hit towards the toe and this bright orange hit in the midfoot. So I keep going back and forth in this shoe. Do I like it? Do I not like it? Do I love it? Do I still not like it? I don't know. I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. I think I really like this shoe on feet. In hand, it's fine. I really like certain details of the shoe. I actually think the collaboration itself is really well done. But is it a shoe that I'd spend $500 resale? You know, other than for a review, because I did spend $500 resale on it. I don't know. Will it be in my top 10 list of the year? I don't know. Probably not personally, but I do think it's a well-executed collaboration. I have a lot of respect for Nina Chanel Abney. I think she did a great job on this shoe. It's just not a personal favorite of mine. That said, on feet, this shoe goes crazy. I can't believe how much I like this shoe on feet. I think it really did match well with the sweatpants that I was rocking. I think that helped a lot, and it does match really well with this shirt. But this shoe is like a perfect example of a shoe that looks amazing on feet, and then in hand, you're like, oh, it's just a green Air Jordan 3. But seeing it on feet, you're like, dang, that is actually a vibe. I keep going back and forth. I think generally I really like this shoe a lot. I think it's a great collaboration. I'm not taking away from the collaboration. I think she did an incredible job. I think all the little details on the shoe, the inspiration behind it, the packaging, everything is really well done. But is it something I'd wear every day? I don't know. Actually, let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to know your thoughts on this shoe because it is such an interesting collaboration. Again, though, if you do want to grab a pair of these, like you miss out on the sneakers app or maybe you just want to grab them early or whatever, I've made sure to leave affiliate links through the YouTube shopping tab on your screen. Guys, I would love to know your thoughts on these shoes. I think they're cool. I definitely think they're cool, but I think that they will be a little bit polarizing. So let me know all of your thoughts, good, bad, and the ugly, in the comment section down below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and I will see you all in the next one.